Markets are just off session lows at the moment, with the Dow down 155, but perhaps more importantly, the S&P is lower by 22, and that's a broader index, certainly. Let's go to Pacer ETFs Distributors President Sean O'Hara. What are you pinning the blame on for this ugly day?
Probably nothing more than part of the normal cycle, although I did read sort of a ridiculous thing this morning about the German 10. We can blame it all on Germany today. The German 10-year bond offering was 53 basis points. It pierced that 50 basis point number, and that's supposedly what set all this up. 3 basis points worth of yield on a 10-year bond.
We're looking at pictures now of Hamburg, Germany, just outside the G20, Sean. Do you expect that this will further cause the VIX to spike more? I mean, we're about to see the VIX close at its highest level since May.
Well, you know, for the last month or 6 weeks or so, everybody's been talking about how there is no VIX, and that's a bad thing. And so I think a little VIX probably is okay. The market has risk in it, as we all know, but it's been acting like it hasn't had any risk in it for a while. And so I think that's a healthy thing. You know, all bull markets don't end in bad news. They end in euphoria. So having a little bit of risk so that people really see what's going on is probably a healthy thing.
Oh, it's great to see you. Buying opportunity, yes or no? Here comes the bell.
I think so. I think I heard Jeff South this week talk about the technicals, and the second half of a year that starts like this generally works out pretty well.
Great to see you, Sean.